Not
Okay.
necessarily. All right, great. Thank you so much. Welcome, everyone. We're so excited to officially launch Her Path to Entrepreneurship, a journey of courage, vision, and success, an empowering new book featuring 23 phenomenal women who dare to dream big and turn those dreams into thriving businesses. In this book, you'll find real stories of resilience, bold vision, and the fearless pursuit of purpose, whether you're just starting out or deep in your entrepreneurial journey. This is your reminder that success is possible and you're never alone. So let's get these stories ignite your path. And to kick things off, I would like to ask each and every one of the wonderful women that we have in here to if you can introduce yourself and share what inspired you to become a part of this powerful anthology project. Maybe we can start with Maureen.
Okay, I'll go. I always go first. Okay. If I can do it, you girls can do it. All right. So, my name is Maureen Byers. I am a master of real estate. I'm a real estate broker, used to be in 6 states, a consultant, an investor, a small business owner, brokerage owner, entrepreneur, and I reside in North Coastal San Diego County. My zone in creating what I wrote in Path to Entrepreneurship was based on my experience. It's my third chapter in my third book. And I didn't realize that the first book was sort of at the beginning. But now that I've healed from writing that, I am I'm going back and I'm remembering exact personal stories to help you relate, and then adding resources of books that helped me, like Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, that changed my life. Other than advising you and being a mentor, I have been empowering women for 50 years in 6 states, and now I have a nationwide project. So what I like to do with my chapter is bring it into to now, to the present. So we're here today, and put our contact information and how to reach us and how to communicate together at the end of our chapter, because this is business and this is money and this is us healing. And I can't even think of a better world that could be combined like this, because at the same time, we're becoming our own dreams. We're becoming published writers. So I'd like to invite all of you to my weekly Zoom. It's 4 to 5 p.m. It's called the Real Estate Happy Hour. It's really informal. I mean, we just sometimes we talk about girl stuff till midnight. Okay. There's more there. If the guys can hang with us, if they can hang with us, they can. We'll let them, But I'm just saying that you can come and we can talk about real estate. A lot of people think that they need money to get involved in real estate, but there's so many vehicles today, and private lending, and so many types of real estate, that I don't want you to think that you don't have the money or the credit, because I have resources for all of that.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for sharing that, Maureen. Maybe we can go next to Erica.
Hi, I'm Erica Elliott. I'm so excited to be here. I love the group of ladies who are involved in this. I love seeing your stories. I am a counselor of over 35 years. I am a brain health coach, an author, a speaker, and I actually wrote in this about my struggle with imposter syndrome. And a lot of people think, you know, you've been successful in lots of areas in your life. How could you have imposter syndrome? But, believe it or not, imposter syndrome can affect you in some areas, especially if you're neurodivergent, ADD, those kinds of things. It can affect you in one area where it might not affect you in other areas. So I've been extremely successful in lots of different areas for a lot of years, but writing was one of those areas where it was just, ooh, it felt like, oh, this is like putting myself out there in the world, and like in a way where it felt very intimidating. I even was thinking I had worked on, before I got COVID in 2020 and got really sick, I had started on my doctorate and I was like, well, maybe after I get my doctorate, I'll actually finally write a book and publish it. And but God had a different plan. After having a brain injury, God was like, it's time for you to write. And so I began my writing journey a little over a year ago and published my first solo book. And now this is, I think, my fifth anthology. And I just feel grateful and blessed and just kind of want to encourage other people that even if you have a disability, even if you have a health issue, even if you think that you can't, you can get past those things. And my actual chapter is called Embracing the Leap of Faith, because take that first step and God will show you how to do the rest.
That's wonderful. I love that, and that's true. It's, obviously, you're not yet done.
Not yet done.
You still have a purpose, and I'm so happy that you're part of this particular book, so that you can share that part of your struggles. And we'll actually circle back later on. In we'll deep dive on the struggles that each of you have gone through, and how it felt like. But before we go there, maybe we can go to Kyla and know a little bit about herself.
Hi, I'm Kayla Nike, and I am a single mom of two boys, and I have been for 15 years. So it's struggles of its own just being a single mom, but I wouldn't change anything in the world. I'm also an author of personal growth and romantasy. I've got my first romantasy book coming out this July, and the second one is almost written, so that's really exciting. And what inspired me to take part in this book is because I've spent a lot of years reading and learning about personal growth and development. And I've also spent years making lots of mistakes. And I just want to share what I've learned with other women who also have big dreams and inspire them, and to also help them fast track their success as well. And my chapter is called Mind Over Matter, and it's an interactive chapter. And I just really hope that it can resonate with other women.
And that's wonderful. I'm sure there are a lot of other women that are actually might have been in the same position as you are, and reading your stories might actually help them get through life itself. So
Well,
that's
that's
great.
my hope.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, let's go to Corey. Corey?
It's Corey. Hello, everyone.
Yes, Corey.
Can y'all hear me okay?
Yes.
Awesome. I'm happy to be here. So, I'm Corey Gallion. I'm an attorney. I've been an attorney for 13 years now. I am deaf, and my chapter was inspired about the obstacles that I faced, and it's entitled Entrepreneurship, the path I never thought I'd take, because honestly, I never saw myself as an entrepreneur. But last year, I opened my own law firm, Gallion Law. And so in my chapter, I discuss how I had been in an abusive marriage for 7 years, and how that, as well as my disability, being a deaf attorney, how they kind of made me hide in the background, keep myself small and not want to be out in the spotlight. And when you're an entrepreneur, you really have to be out there. You are the brand. So I talk about finding my voice and finding my power after leaving those situations, as well as a financially controlling partnership. Because when you get into abusive relationships, you find yourself in abusive patterns and like just not speaking up when you should. And so I shed light on that in my chapter.
That's wonderful. Thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
sharing that, Corey. And congratulations to your new firm. That's
Thank you. I
great.
appreciate that.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right, great. Let's move on to did I call Hannah yet?
Hi everyone, it's so lovely to be here with you all, and I'm really proud to be sharing a cover with all you incredible women. My chapter is called The Unexpected Events on the Path to Entrepreneurship, because a bit like what you said, I didn't really ever kind of see myself as an entrepreneur, but it's just kind of a path that's kind of come out my way that I've decided to follow. And this is just kind of how I started my business, Healing with Hannah, which is all based on my own healing journey and things I've learned along the way. I'm relatively new to business, so it's in my second year, and it's just a little bit of tips and tricks that I've learned along the way of how I've built my business whilst battling chronic health conditions.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm sure a lot of women will be able to take notes and use that to, if they're thinking of building their own business too, starting their own journey. That's great to know. Thank you for that, Hannah. Let's move on to Kira.
Hey everyone, just so grateful and blessed to be here with all of you and just hearing your raw stories. It's been really beautiful. So, I am also a single mom with you. I believe it's Kyla. Did I say that right? I have three beautiful children, and when it became a reality for me to face the world of providing for myself, I knew with every part in me that 9 to 5 was not my answer. That I knew that there was something bigger inside of me, that there was more that this world needed, and the world needs all of us and our gifts, and to step up into that. And so I um, faced my fears of competition and went for the biggest competition in my company, doTERRA, and became one of 167 founders in the United States and in the entire world, and rose to become the fastest growing team in North America. But it was not without lots of struggle and choosing to believe and overcoming all those limiting beliefs. And so my intention when I saw this opportunity to write in the book, I just thought, we limit ourselves so much, and with God, all things are possible. And I want to show people how they can truly partner with Him to create what seems impossible, and to bridge that gap of fear, and take those leaps of faith, and just truly watch incredible miracles unfold as we choose to commit to something bigger than ourselves and expanding in that. So I also have my Instagram now that is at Go Bigger Movement, where I just barely am starting to help women expand whatever their dreams or callings are in that leaps of faith. So thank you for this opportunity.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your chapter, your story with everybody else that will be able to download and read your ebook, and later on it will be available in paperback too. And I totally agree. Sometimes it just takes that one little faith to make that first step, and everything will fall into place. So that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Let's go to Lovely.
Hey everyone, my name is Lovely Laguerre. I am so thankful to be here with all of you. It's been amazing in this journey because I've written many books with the Hanashi Rises team. I'm the founder of Pure Heavenly and part of a commercial real estate here in Las Vegas. And my passion really truly is telling my story to really make a difference in others, and hopefully they can take a nudge of what I said, or my journey to to their own when they're starting coming up. As one of us, we all had a beginning, just for that purpose. So my story is about the spark. It's about that in the business entrepreneur knowing that your why, and the leap of faith, like we mentioned, the go and scale, and other thing that goes behind the starting the business, have the be in the vision state of mind, and knowing that like to be consistent, and you remember every setback, you're gonna have failures, you're gonna have challenges, and to take those as a nudge to, like, to not stop, to to go further, and be bold, and don't shrink. What, when you find you're having failures, to not shrink, to know that this is time for you to know to rise above other challenges, and keep going. Because at the end of the day, every time you move forward, it gets better. Is a fruition of your success. That's what about the spark, and to keep going, and show others, and build with others, and team up. And that's about all about the business. The spark in my business, in my storytelling. So thank you for
That's
sharing the stage with me, and I appreciate you all, ladies. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for being here, and I guess that's why we are all in She Rises, because that's ultimately what we wanted to do, right? Well, we want to make sure that every she is able to rise. Awesome, awesome. Now let's one last, not the least, definitely. Let's go to Gina.
Hello, everyone. I'm so honored to be here with you all. I recognize some of the faces from some of the other anthologies, but it's wonderful. My chapter is called Born to Build a Legacy of Entrepreneurship. I am a seventh generation entrepreneur in my family. And so I have just, it's kind of just in my blood. It's all I know. Um, you take the risk, and if it works, great, you go with it. If it doesn't, you pivot and you just keep getting back up. And I, like Erica, have had I had a stroke actually. So sometimes you have those health issues, then they want to push you down. And I just want to encourage anyone, no matter what, just get back up and keep going. Anything is possible. I hope that I inspire women to take that dream they've had for probably a long time. And they may have listened to the world tell them, you can't do it, it's impossible, and all those other self talk things that we do, and encourage them that it is possible, and just walk alongside them in their journey to say, okay, this is your big dream. Now let's reverse engineer that and take step by step, and I'll walk you through it, and you can do it. We can all
That's
do it.
That's wonderful. Well, it's very inspiring that we are all able to, not just the authors themselves, but everybody that gets to read this book will be able to pick the best what you call advices from these wonderful women that have gone that are either starting their entrepreneurial journey, going through it, or like Gina, that's already a seven generation entrepreneur herself. A lot of the stories, a lot of the messages that you guys have on this book will, I'm sure, definitely be valuable to your readers. Now, going to that as a co-author, because this is an anthology, what was it like joining forces with other women? You're not sharing this. You're not alone on the stage. You're sharing it with all of these other powerful women within the business. What does it feel like? Who would like to share?
I'll share something.
Yes, sure.
So I like to think of it as drops of water. Water is a vital life force. We need water to survive, right? But one single drop doesn't do much on its own, but when it's combined, it is healing, it is nourishing, and it's also powerful. I live in Utah, and there we have canyons that are sculpted out of incredible amounts of water, right? And when we can join together, we become this unstoppable force when we can collectively come and say, look, I think there's so much power to saying, look, here are all of these women who've all gone through such intense struggles, such intense trials, and yet we're collectively joining forces and giving people hope, saying, look, this is the human story. The human story is struggle and trial, and we have overcome some things. There's more ahead of us to overcome, but we're in this together, and I think that is really, really powerful.
That's wonderful. I love that. That's true. And it's nice that you've pointed out that this is real story. These are real stories. These are things that, events that I've gone through, that we've all gone through, and we're sharing it with you. Kayla, do you have anything to share?
I was gonna say the same thing, basically along the same lines. That it's basically like a community, and we're not in this alone. We're in this together, and it just shows what is possible, and it's a pretty cool feeling.
That's great. Yes, Erica.
I was just thinking how I love that it has all kinds of different takes on what you went through. And so when you put a book like this together, like you're getting years worth of information. And I always think of, like, in the church, we talk about, not everybody is the hands, not everybody are the feet, we're the body, like, and we all have different talents and ideas and ways we express things. And everyone hears things different or sees it or feels it. And so I love that it's all in this anthology together because it gives people an ability to look at all kinds of different stories. And then as they do, pick what resonates and feels right. And they're able to get like this smorgasbord of ideas to help them along the way. So I just love that.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Erica. And I understand Corey has something to share as well.
I do, yes. I was having a conversation with my accountability partner, Ty Salvant. She's contributed to past anthologies and encouraged me to do this anthology. And we talked about how this is very similar to a co-op, where everyone contributes and works, and we share in the work as well as the reward or harvest from doing this, and so I'm really grateful to be a part of this anthology. I love collaboration, and that's a big part of my law firm, Galleon Law, as well as my professional brand. So thank you all for having me.
Well, you're very much welcome. We love having you.
Thank you.
And yeah, great. Anybody else would like to share? Yes, Maureen.
You hit the nail on the head. All of you have the same energy, I think, in this room, which is why we were attracted to this book and what we had to offer. So it's a win-win situation because we're not out there alone by ourselves facing fear, thinking who's going to buy our book, how are we going to make royalties. These stories are interesting anthologies, and we're from all walks of life, all over the world, and we have similar paths. I've noticed I'm a single mom. There's similar threads here. And then there's the support that I believe that we have within our groups. Even though we have different subjects and different interests, it's really important for us to communicate, to learn how to communicate, not only for us to heal, but for us to share our gifts with the world and to empower other women and letting them know that they are strong, they are resilient, they can do it. We can cooperate. Well, we might not be on the golf course with the guys in the men's grill, where I was a waitress when I was going to college, but we have the same knitting between us here in common with being a woman in number one, and then learning how to, I think communicate is underrated in our society. There's all these programs and you can spend all this money and you can do all this kind of stuff, but to really vibe on each other's alignment and be aware of your power as a woman, we have that strength. We were born with it. It's a God-given right. And to express ourselves and share it here, I just feel like it's an honor. I feel so blessed to be here because this is a dream come true for me. I have been empowering women for 50 years in 6 states, and I would finance them. I would partner with them. I would do whatever I could. I'd sponsor them, their kids, beauty pageants, college funds. I do a lot of things to give back to women. Not that I don't like men, because we wouldn't be here without them, but I was mentored by men. So I have all of those traits to begin with, and we all do, but that's not who we are. So this is a confirmation of witnessing each other's journeys in writing as published authors, with the opportunities to be able to make royalties on them before we're known as our own solo anthology. And I think that in itself is really, Hannah's just brilliant for
That's
doing
the
that.
coolest. Yes, that's the coolest, actually. Well, on that point, what do you hope your readers will take away from your own chapter specifically?
Me,
Yeah, we can start with you.
what I think what's important for me, it's networking. Okay.
Mhm.
For me, it's saying yes. Okay. To crazy things. Like, you shouldn't be doing them. You're scared. To me, it's about being strong. and not ever giving up, no matter how bad it gets or what happens. Balance is critical. And I think for us, in my chapter, I want to emphasize that you can work and you can make money. And it's critical for us to be at the gym or yoga or with our kids or whatever we have to do. We have to adapt to being essential to what keeps us healthy and taking care of ourselves and self-love. And I think that whatever business you're in, like the doctor in entrepreneurship for decades, we have it in our family too. And it's just it's a dynamic struggle for women to be paid an equal amount of money in the United States for the same services that men do. And I know because 90% of my clientele have been male engineers. And so with that being said, I think it's important for us, and I say this in my chapter, unlock your real estate potential, level up, come with me. Let's grow together. Let's talk, cry, celebrate, whatever it is we have to do together. And that's really what I'm trying to get across in my chapter, which is always going to be about empowering others.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you so much for that. Thank you for that, Maureen. That's wonderful. What about the rest? What do you hope your readers will take away from your chapter? If in maybe in one word, two words, or in a phrase, what do you think that will be?
Hi. For myself, I do talk about fear and courage, and it does dive into how to recognize limiting beliefs, and that the only thing that's really holding us back is ourselves and the words that we tell ourselves. So we walk through that, and then we also learn how to not only recognize them, but to turn them into empowering beliefs, and just taking that leap of faith and finding that courage and jumping into whatever it is that you dream of.
That's wonderful. Getting to that goal. Wonderful. Anything else?
I can go
Yeah.
if you'd like. I would be piggybacking off of that. And I did want to say, I didn't mention earlier, but I'm also a single mother. I have 4 beautiful daughters at home. And so I can relate to all the struggles. And for me, it is reclaiming your power. That's what I want women to take away from my chapter, because so many times we give away our power and our voice, to people who don't want to see us succeed. They don't want our best interests. And so it's okay to say, this isn't serving me, this relationship, friendship, or business. Walk away from that and start rebuilding yourself. And so that's what I like to share.
That's wonderful. I love that. Yes, Gina.
Thank you.
I'd like to piggyback off of that now. I hope that this encourages all women that read it, that no matter what or who is not in agreement with what they're trying to do, not supportive of what they're trying to do, if they really know that is what they are to do, to just plow through it anyway and just do it. As I shared, I've come from a family of entrepreneurs. So when I was of age, they thought, well, surely I'll just take over one of the businesses. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to plow my own way. I wanted to do my own thing. And I wanted to be balanced, which I wasn't taught. I wanted to be balanced in doing so as well, because burnout was not where I wanted to head. And I had seen too much of that. But in saying that, I had gone to school for many, many years to do what I do. And my graduation, my own family member would not even attend, because he said, you'll never make it. There's no one out there doing what you're trying to do. There is just no way this is going to succeed. And I did. I said, I will die before this doesn't succeed. May 5th, I celebrated 30 years in doing what I do. So I think I've succeeded. Haven't always done the balancing thing too good, but I can say I've never missed anything my children have been in. And that was most important to me. I wanted to be a mom first and a businesswoman second. So I'm hoping they see that it just takes some belief in yourself, some drive. It may take some education that you don't know, or just some hard knocks, trial and error, but you can do it no matter what the dream is. And because of that, I've now started Dream in Motion, and I help other women start their businesses. And all that I've helped so far have been very, very successful. So I just hope this book knocks their socks off.
That's wonderful. Well, I'm very excited. It's very exciting to, um, that this book is out there and ready for anyone who needs this kind of encouragement, from all of these women, to be that it's available and that it's ready for them to read through it. Do you have anything to share, Erica?
Sure. I think Lovely had her hand up though. Go ahead, Lovey. I'll let
Oh
her go
no.
first.
I'll go after
Okay,
you,
lovely.
Erica. Oh, okay. Yes. I want to share with the women out there getting their hands in this amazing book. Truly, it's a blueprint. It is a lots of wisdom with all of us, combined collectively in this project that we so find, telling your truth and really, engaging with the world who doesn't even know us. But with this book, they're gonna have the stories. They're gonna have our, our messy lives that we have been living. And I tell them, to bet on yourself, trust the process, bet on your vision, and don't play small and go out there and shine and build boldly. Truly, that's what I want to leave with the readers out there from all of us. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Beautiful. And I would just piggyback on that. I agree with what every lady here has said. It's completely true. I think we have a power in stepping forward, and it takes just that first step. Like, I was an entrepreneur for a lot of years before I became an author. So I think sometimes it's going just because you really do well in one area, and you might feel like, well, I don't know, am I even allowed in that area? Like, you're allowed. You're allowed. So if somebody's listening to this or somebody reads this book, I hope that they see, like, take the step and see what happens and let God direct, and I think, if anything, if they take that idea that maybe I could do this. If they can do it, I can do it, because it's one of those things I often tell people, if someone else can do it, you can do it. If someone else can do it, you can do it. So since I did it, you can do it. That's what I want to tell each and every woman out there, and even young woman. And my daughter is an entrepreneur herself and owns her own business. So you can do it. And you can become an author if you'd like.
That's true. That's true. That's wonderful. Thank you so much, guys. That's very inspiring and, very nice to have these powerful women coming together to make sure that the if not the current generation, the next generation has something to take them with when they start their journey, in this, entrepreneurship. So that's awesome. That's awesome. So, before we wrap things up, can you maybe we can go around the stage here and let us know how people can connect with you, maybe how they can follow you with your work, with your journey, if there's any upcoming exciting news that you have, any projects that you want to share with the rest of the world, uh, maybe please do. Who would like to start? Yes,
I'm
Corey.
Okay. So I am about to launch my first book besides the anthology. I'm releasing a book called Personal Injury: The Financial Impact of Abusive Relationships. In that book, I take a look at how abusive relationships impact us financially. Basically, we give away so much that we don't realize when we're in abusive relationships, and I experienced that during my marriage. So I wanted to share my story, but in a way that motivated and inspired women. So I'm really excited about that book. It will come out in September of this year, and you can follow me on my website, www.corrie, that's Corrie, Gallion, GALLIEN.com. Also, I will be starting workshops where I empower women who've been through trauma, like an abusive relationship, to start their own path of entrepreneurship. So I'm really excited about that. And if you want to follow my law firm, you can check out that website. It's www.galleonlaw.com. So GALLIEN law.com. Thank you.
Thank you, Corey.
You're welcome.
Great. Maybe we can go to Hannah.
Hi, yeah, I just want to say thank you for having us on here. It's been an incredible journey writing this book with all these incredible women, and I'm really excited to actually get a copy in my hands soon. You can connect with me on Facebook, find me Hannah Darby. Go to my website, which is www.healingwithhannah.co.uk, and that has links to all of my different social media profiles, and you can read a little bit about what I do as a holistic healer and grief therapist. And I look forward to connecting with you all soon.
Awesome. Thank you, Hannah. Let's go to Kira.
Okay, so you can connect with me on my new Instagram. It's at Go Bigger Movement. It's here on the screen. Would love it if you would send me a message and I can connect and follow you and see how we can support each other. I would love to facilitate a group for anyone who would want to come in where we can hold space to go bigger, to talk about our dreams, talk about what's scary, and then I can do some individual coaching with you on the call where I challenge you to go bigger and we break through the one thing that's keeping you in the way with that. So that's just something I would love to offer for anyone that's here in this space, or if there's any other way that I can support you, then please reach out, because that's what we're here for. So you can do all things with God. All things are possible. So I'm here to hold that for you.
Thank you. Thank you. That's wonderful. Thank you, Kira. Let's go to Kyla. Anything new?
Hi. Yeah. So I do have aside from several anthologies that I'm taking part in, I do have a solo book project coming out in July, and it's called Mystique. And it was inspired by true events, just some struggles that I have went through personally, but it's got a fantasy spin on it just to make it that much more entertaining. And you can find me on social media. I'm most active on TikTok, Kayla Nike author. It's the same name for all my social media, so it's easy to find. And my website is kaylanike.com. So KAILANIKE.com. And I am also active on Facebook and Instagram. Not so much. It's a lot harder I find, to get going on Instagram, but TikTok and Facebook for sure.
Great, great. Thank you so much, Kayla. Lovely.
Hey everyone. So you can find me under my company, Pure Heavenly Hair Beauty Boutique. So it is Pure Heavenly Hair. I'm also on Instagram at Pure Heavenly Hair. Website is pureheavenlyhair.com. And then very heavy on LinkedIn, and just spreading the love for entrepreneurship and growing. And besides that, I've also have my new book coming soon with the She Rises team called My Pursuit, My Purpose. And I'm also working in my daughter's few children books, which is great. So that's my project.
Awesome.
Yes. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you,
Awesome. Thank
ladies.
you, lovely. Let's go to Erica.
Hi, thank you. You can reach me at Instagram at Warrior Heart XO is my handle. You can find me on Facebook, Warrior Heart. Erica Elliott. I also have a YouTube that is Brain Health Coach, and getting ready to launch a TV show. And my book is relaunching with She Rises Studio, the solo book that I put out last year is going to relaunch in July, and it's called Breath of Heaven, Manifesting God's Way. And you can find that on Amazon, using the laws of the Bible and brain science to create an abundantly blessed life. So thank you so much. I'm so grateful to be here, everyone.
Thank you, Erica. Maureen?
As I mentioned earlier, I have a weekly Zoom. It's Thursdays from 4 to 5 p.m. PST. I have a group on WhatsApp. I'm all over social media under my name. Anything you can think of, I'm there. I've been on LinkedIn. I've been on the birth of the internet since day one. Okay. I had one of those. Do you remember those original phones that looked like bricks? Okay.
Yes.
I was the first one on my block that had one of those, right? I was just testing outside to see how far I could go without being on a cord. So you're all invited. I love the fact that we can get together and that we're authors. And it's a different flavor than meeting somebody in your profession to do business. And I love that about this group because we are business women, and we, like I said, we can talk about anything, but my forte is as a commercial investment real estate broker. And my current project that I started in October of last year is I like small partnerships. And this is a gentleman that has 35 years experience in bank REO foreclosures, tax sales, auctions, and distressed properties. And I like that space because we're direct lender. Even though I'm a broker, there's no broker commission. There's no wholesalers in between or anything like that. We're direct. And so I really like this space because it's nationwide. It's not just one state or another. It's nationwide and it's all types of properties. It doesn't matter if it's storage units or a single family dwelling, in all types of condition, in all types of price ranges. So when it comes to us, if you join us, then I charge a 5% fee. It's just a resource fee. I'm not offering brokerage or consulting services, but I do offer those in addition to that. So I think it's important for us to invest in real estate. I don't know anything about crypto or stock or anything like that. So in my group, it's going to be real estate, but I think that we have all of our own businesses. And in order to trust somebody in any investment field today, and with AI, I think it's going to be a little bit harder. We're finding even more challenges. We're probably going to have, Jacqueline, we're going to have like a code that we're all She Rise authors. Okay. So we know it's really us. And so you can come anytime. That's the best time to reach me is 4 to 5 p.m. PST. And we can put all this in the chat.
Yeah.
But it's at the end of my chapter.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Maureen.
Thank you.
And again, let's go back to last but not the least, Gina.
Yes, you can find me at Dr. Gina's Transformation Academy. You can also find me on LinkedIn, Facebook, all the above. I did have a lady that was in charge of all that. And so now she is shifting into something else personally. So I'm looking for someone else. So I don't do a whole lot of social media myself, I must admit. I wish I knew more about it to do it. So I am open for anyone that wants to teach someone like me because I just am more hands-on with everything I do. And I am trying to be a little bit more hands-on with that. But also, I'm doing my Dream in Motion. I'm on a 5-state tour this year with that. And it's just to help women start from a dream and put the motion behind it and become the entrepreneur and help her to be successful. So I'm real excited where the Lord's heading this year. I don't know all the nooks and crannies of it, but I'm his hands and feet. Wherever he wants to send me, I'm going.
That's awesome. And, we don't know the future, but I'm sure it'll be wonderful. It'll be the plans that he has for us is awesome. It's all good. So, as parting words, do you have any uh parting words, final messages for the people that will be watching this video later on?
I would say follow your heart in any situation. Listen to your body. Your body will tell you whether to go forth or not. And take risks. Don't be afraid. Just replace this is real basic, but I use it. I use breathing, a lot of breathing, and then just replace the fear with faith. And just try it. Just do it. Just check it out. I'm not saying spend a bunch of money and do this or that. It always helps to run it by somebody else. two brains, two eyes, two ears, that type of thing. But I would say, yeah, that's what I would recommend.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Maureen. Yes. Anybody else?
My piece of advice
Mhm.
too is to just do it. We get in our heads and we just get stuck there thinking what if or how or all these limiting beliefs come up, but you just got to take that step and just have faith that it'll work out. And most of the time, from my experiences, that opportunities do arise and doors open. So just do it.
From Miss
I would
Nike.
encourage them to find their purpose, because when you find your purpose, you thrive. You just thrive. When you're aligned with what you are supposed to be doing and your true, authentic self, you'll thrive. It doesn't matter what you want to do. Just take that first step. It's going to be scary. You're going to not know the next one or the next one. It's okay. But you'll find the greatest peace and happiness in that purpose moment. You have to find your purpose.
The enemy wants to keep us playing small and to bury those old dreams. We have such big dreams when we're children, and they get shoved deep, deep, deep down. And it's unlocking that. It's giving that permission, that dream permission to come up. I actually have a meditation that I can give you to download if you want, around unlocking that. But just permission. Just give yourself permission to go bigger, to dream bigger, and to just, like Kyla said, just go, just do it. The Nike way, right?
I can follow that. My message would be that it is okay to stabilize yourself first. And we all have been through various traumas, some worse than others. And it's okay to need a breather and to work on yourself, because self-care is big. And I have reached that burnout that Dr. Gina was talking about. It's real if you don't take care of yourself. So, but it's something that once you do the self-care, you have to take that step forward, like everyone else is saying. Just start. You have to start somewhere. And it's okay if you fall down and you get back up. So that's what I would share.
And I'll jump into that and to say that the women out there do know entrepreneurship is not one size fits all. Do it scared, do it small, do it anyway. That's my take to leave with all.
And I would say it's, but like Maureen, just lead with your heart and trust your instincts. Be brave, be bold, and you don't have to know all of the answers as long as you're taking the first step. The world is our oyster.
And I think it's really important to remember you don't have to do this alone. You don't have to do this alone. And which is why we're all here with the She Rises community. And I love that so much, that there's somebody else that you can go through and learn from. But I also want to say this, in the words of Eleanor Roosevelt: the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Well, all of you are very much inspiring. You have not only inspired me, I'm sure the people that will be watching this will also be inspired. Thank you so much for joining us all today. Thank you so much for sharing your hearts with us through this powerful conversation. And your stories, your insights, your authenticity have truly inspired us. Her path to entrepreneurship is a celebration of courage, vision, and the unstoppable spirit of women in business. So, for everyone that's watching, if you haven't yet, the ebook is now available on Amazon. So, grab your copy and let the stories fuel your own journey. Thanks again, everyone. Until next time.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
bye.
you. Have a good
Blessings,
one.
everyone.
Bye bye.
Take care all.